Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Michi Makes Up. Today I'm really excited. I started a glow primer or glow serum video series back in summer, and I haven't had the chance to sit down to do another video to do a proper continuation of this series until now. So today I want to test Charlotte Tilbury's Wonderglow Instant Soft Focus Beauty Glow Primer. So this one is going to be very explicitly in the name. It's double duty. Certainly it's meant to be for a primer, and perhaps you could also place it on top of your makeup to give you that instant or additional glow. And what I'm going to do is show you guys a swatch, put it on the face, finish my makeup, and then let some time go by before I come back for an update and hopefully give you a conclusion of this test by the end of the video. I have worn this primer several times, so I kind of have an idea of how it's gonna work out for today, but still I like to have this in a video to you guys. So I'm going to swatch it on the back of my hand, and if you hear background noise that sounds like vacuum or some kind of whistling, it's actually the sound of a vacuum. A neighbor is vacuuming their car outside right now, and I can hear it all too well. It's probably being picked up by the mic, so I do apologize for that, but this is the time I have, and I would love to get this video to you. So this is what the primer or glow primer looks like on the back of my hand, and it is tinted. It does have a good amount of shimmer to it, but it's still quite subtle. And I'm going to go ahead and apply that onto just half of my face, and we're going to do a comparison. I do already have concealer on, so that's what you're seeing. If you're seeing these like seemingly white patches or very light patches on my skin. Come closer. So this half of the face I have the primer on, and then nothing on this side. By the way, this concealer from Rephr, I know I did a video on this one, and I've been using it since. So this is in the shade 1, which is the lightest shade they have available. And many of you guys have commented saying, hey, if you were to try this, you would probably go a shade or two deeper, which I totally agree with. I could use a shade or two deeper as well, but I just love the glowing effect. So in my video, I had put on a lot of this concealer, and it looked way too bright, way too light for my skin. But you'll see in a moment here, I like to pair the concealer and top it off to set it, if you will, with the Westman Atelier pressed powder in cream. It's almost gone. I ordered another one to replace this, but the cream or the shade here just tones down the brightness, and the two combined is perfect. It gives me that lifted, brightened effect, but not so that it, doesn't look like it's a fit for my skin at all. So let's put the primer on the side of the face, and we'll move on to the rest of the makeup look. I'm going to use the same foundation as I did in my first video of this series, so we can keep that consistent and know how the product sort of acts and behaves as it ages. Okay, and then going into the under eyes with cream, this pressed powder. What I do is just use a puff, and I'm swirling it like this, and then I press it on. You can see it's already toned down compared to this side. And so in photos, or just out in daylight, it looks perfect, the combination. So I'm going to set the rest of the base product on my skin here, and then I'll be back to do the eye makeup. This is the finished look, and I have my makeup done. I'm going to come closer so we can take a look at how everything has settled. I did not use any primer, do not plan to, because I'm already getting glow and shimmer from that Charlotte Tilbury primer itself. I think everything looks really even and softened, just like that, soft focus feature this primer has. And because I've worn this a couple of times, I do have expectations that it will look about like this throughout the day. We're gonna have normal wear as oils come through, and you know, a lot of movement happening here throughout the day. But I think in areas where it's not really affected, like the forehead and possibly along, you know, the sides right here, I think it's gonna look fairly similar and stay put. Well, I'll come back for an update, and depending on time, I might just have one update towards the end here, but if I am able to, I'll try to put an update right in the middle as well. See you guys in a bit. It's been 2.5 hours since I first completed this look, and I've ran some errands, been outside. I have perfect lighting right now. It's nice and even, but not too bright for my eyes. It's really a perfect time to do a photo shoot, but everything looks really even, nice and bright, and it is natural light. I am outside. Nothing noticeable. Everything is staying on very beautifully. The shimmer you're seeing, again, I have no highlighter on, is from the primer. So I feel like it's very natural looking because of the, I guess, the tint in the primer, but also the shimmer is not overly, it's not too much, but also still enough to give you that glowing effect. And I haven't had a meal or anything to eat or drink, so I'm sure it'll come apart more in these areas after a meal and more natural oils come through, but so far looking really good. And I'll come back for another update several hours later. It's been 8 hours since I first finished putting on this makeup. I'll come a bit closer so we can see how everything has settled, and I still have a very even glow. I think the primer is doing its job in extending the makeup's wear, because I'm not seeing a lot of breaking apart, like makeup breaking apart and moving. This here, certainly on the two sides of the nose, I think I won't fault the primer for this, whether I have primer or no primer. It's just always gonna really have lots of wear there. So I'm not gonna count it against the primer. I think everywhere else looks really great. I do love the tint this primer has to it. It gives a very soft focus, soft glow that's very easy on the eyes and easy to pair makeup to put on it. So even after I finish using this, I would consider buying another one because I think it's doing its job and it just looks really beautiful. I really do enjoy this. Every single time I've put it on, this is generally how I feel at the end of the day. It's like, this still looks really good. I think it's a great product. And let's see what else here that I might want to mention. This primer is lightly scented. It has almost like a botanical scent to it, and it also has some skincare properties too. I did not, and I want to surface this, is I didn't use it as a highlighter on top of my makeup. I ended up deciding against that because when I tested the Goop Glow Lotion, I didn't use it as a primer, or I didn't use it as a highlighter, but rather just almost like a primer underneath the makeup. So I didn't want to break away from that first test and do something different. There might be a time where it makes sense to do half the face with just wearing the product underneath and the other half with it as a highlighter. I might do that. I'll put that into, or I'll take that into consideration. And then finally, the last part is, if I were to use it as a highlighter and put it onto the high points, I do think it's still going to stay on really well, because I mean, look how well this has stayed on. I think I'm going to look more glowing wherever I have it, but I don't think it's going to make my face more oily. I don't think, you know, it's going to really do anything unexpectedly poor, unless I'm sweating profusely or I accidentally smudge it. I think it's just going to stay on like you can expect from a good primer. So those are my thoughts there. Hopefully my next glow primer test video won't be too far out from now. I do enjoy making these and definitely want to show you the line of products that I have. So I'll see you guys very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.